What's up, you guys? This is Darlington from Darlington Academy again. And as usual, I bring you guys information about traveling and immigrating to Canada. And the goal is to bring people that I have known or people I reach out to based on, with the intention of giving out the right information. And today's topic, it's an interesting one. It's a topic about the struggles, hardship, and working your way up as an immigrant in Canada. And it's a topic I believe that I've heard a lot of people talk about. I've read about it on the internet, and I know it's real. So today I decided to bring a friend. And for me as a brother as well, he's a brother to me right now. We went to nursing school together. We met. And after the first experience, I met up with him the second time. And the experience was amazing. For me, I saw a different look in his like energy, the way he carried himself. So I was intrigued, you know, so I felt like I needed to be closer and get to know the inspiration and things like that. So his name is Arvin, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about his journey in Canada and how he has worked himself to being an entrepreneur. So it's going to be an awesome one. So Arvin, please welcome, and I appreciate you joining. Can you please introduce yourself?
Thanks so much, Darlington. That was amazing, man. I'm always excited talking to you. And just to tell you a little bit about me, my name's Arvin, again, like Darlington said. And I wasn't an entrepreneur when I came to Canada. To start my story, I came from the Philippines about 11 years ago now. And I started in the Philippines as a nurse. My parents actually brought me here as a dependent. I was 19 back then.
Yeah.
Calculate my age now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was a nurse back home. Looking forward to the future because Canada is a rich country. We all know that, and that's the reason why we immigrated to Canada. And the thinking was when I came to Canada, I'm gonna work 24/7. I'm gonna work as a nurse.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be rich. I'm gonna be wealthy. I'm gonna be well off and give back home. Going back to 2010, and when we started here, that was not the case. It's a 360 degree of my expectation, not to the positive, but to the negative. When we came here, I did not have a job. For 2 years, from 2010 to 2012, I worked my way into assessment of my nursing degree.
Okay.
And as I do that, 6 months coming to Canada, I did not have work because my credentials were not acknowledged. Work in Vancouver, because I landed in Vancouver, was scarce.
Yeah.
I had to work. I had to start after 6 months. 3 jobs. 1, as a gasoline boy. 2, I cleaned planes. 3, I washed dishes.
Oh, wow.
So that's a little bit of how I started, and then working my way up. After being assessed by CRNBC, which is the governing body for nurses in British Columbia, they said, "Okay, Arvin, yeah, you can start nursing. Go back to school for 2 years, so
Yeah.
you would have the hours."
Yeah.
And I said, "Okay, yeah, that's fine by me. I can work, then go to school." Lo and behold, I enrolled in Langara College in BC, and they say, "Arvin, yeah, you can. You just have to wait for 2 years, 2 more years for you to get enrolled."
Yeah.
And for myself, I was like, I don't have that much time. I don't have much time. So I peeled back from nursing and then did my 3 jobs. Then as 2013 approached, my parents got a full-time job here. We all know that Calgary back then was really booming.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, okay, maybe I can go to nursing school again. I went to nursing school in 2000 and I think 2015.
So, but before then, you already had like your nursing degree from the Philippines too.
Yes, I did. Yes.
So, but you had to like upgrade. Was it like an upgrade or something? Like what?
yeah, I was going to upgrade.
Yeah,
That's what they wanted. That was the ideal scenario.
yeah,
But like in the real scenario, you have to wait for 2 years because the school is packed.
yeah.
Second, I don't have much time because they wanted me to take so much course. So
Okay, that was like the
that's
concept. Yeah,
yeah, that's the beginning of my nursing journey as I start in Canada.
yeah,
So you can see a little bit of struggle there,
yeah.
and that's me being raw. That's me telling you my whole experience in a
So,
nutshell.
so how did the how did the idea of becoming an entrepreneur, like when did you start nursing that idea? Did it just was it as a result of an experience or something?
That is a very good question, Darlington. So the idea stems back from as a kid,
Yeah,
but as a kid, as a Filipino kid, we're a third world country. Don't get me wrong, Philippines is a beautiful country.
yeah.
You just I don't know, Darlington, where did you come from? Sorry again.
I'm from Nigeria, pretty much.
Nigeria.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah, so you could probably agree with me and you could testify to this that in my country, I don't know about yours, there's extreme poor and extreme poverty and extreme richness,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So you can see that. You can see that. It's very, very, very transparent. So at the young age, we were doing okay back in the Philippines. My mom is an accountant, my dad is an entrepreneur. So I wanted to have my own business as
yeah.
a young age. But my mom said, "You're never gonna make it in business in the Philippines if you don't have the capital." So while I scratched that off, I became a nurse. Now the idea and the dream came back when I hit Canada. The idea was I'm gonna be a nurse, then transition to being an entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur. Okay, yeah, yeah.
Easier said than done, I guess.
Exactly right. Yeah, that's kind of as in similar with me, like coming from an entrepreneurial family, you know what I mean? So that was like the thought I had in my head, and then
Yes.
coming down to Canada, all of a sudden you got to like work to make ends meet before. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. So what would you say is like, let me put it this way. What is the hardest thing you faced in Canada as a new immigrant?
Um, I I couldn't for sure say it's the hardest because each and every one has their own definition of hard. But for me, it's basically like the struggle of starting over again. It's for me, my ego was on the way because I already graduated as a nurse as a bachelor's degree back home, and we were doing okay.
Yeah,
Basically, it's the reality of facing that you have to start over again.
over again. Yeah,
It's not a bad thing. It's just basically for myself,
yeah,
and I don't know if somebody out there can relate to me, but uh, basically just taking away that ego part of that hardship. The
yeah,
hardship is taking away the ego. It's basically me against me.
yeah, yeah. I agree. I kind of as in felt the same way when I came to Canada. It felt like you are starting life all over again, and then
Yeah, for sure.
when you kind of as in look at your age and you kind of compare, you know, there is always that feeling, oh, I should have been, you know, doing this, but you know, in everything, it's all about learning as in from that experience, right?
Mhm.
Okay,
Right.
so um, there is this feeling I've actually had living in Canada, you know, like
Yeah.
the sense of having a community.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like the sense of having a family and a community. Would you say, as in being a Filipino who came as in with your family, and I don't know, I think Filipinos, you guys are big with like, you know, gatherings and
Yeah, for sure. And you as well too, right?
exactly, same with me. Like there is some. I lived in Ontario before I moved down to Calgary, and we had like that Nigerian community. It was amazing. Like you could get information easily. So
Yes.
would you say like that kind of like influence your decision making with like nursing and then you know shifting gears towards entrepreneurship as well? Would you say that
Um,
contribute for someone who is new and thinking about you know making that decision to come to Canada?
um, like the community influencing it.
Yeah, do you think that would really as in help someone like settling into Canada very well?
In a degree, yes, of course, because being in that community, like people who came from where you came that's going to be the easier transition,
Yes.
especially if you know people, um, people that are in one community. It doesn't necessarily have to be a prominent or influential people. It would help,
Yeah, it
and you
will
agree
help.
with that, right?
Yeah.
It would help if they're influential, but as long as you build that relationship, because business, being an entrepreneur, even in our flight as an immigrant nurse who studied in in Canada, we
Yeah.
also still have to have that community because you have to have information. Everything has to come in a fresh information every
Yeah.
year, every day, every second, every hour. As many information as you can gather from each and every people that you interact and you meet, that would be very beneficial.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So like how would you say like immigrating to Canada has changed your life? And let's say if because if you check on the news right now, Canada is one of the sought after countries. Everybody
Yeah.
wants to come to Canada. So based on your experience living in Canada, would you encourage someone who is nursing that dream of, coming to Canada to like keep chasing it or be like, oh, it's not really what you think it is? You know what I mean? Like, what would be your advice?
Good. That's another great question, Darlington. You know why? Because it's basically number one is your perception. If that's your dream, chase it.
Exactly.
I am not the person to tell you don't chase it just because of my circumstances. No, by all means, if if you're the person who is relentless, you're the person who wants their dreams to come true. By all means, come to Canada, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because
Okay.
Canada is the land of opportunities.
It is.
It's beside United States, and United States we all know is one of the richest country in the world, and Canada is a stepping stone.
Yeah.
And I would I'm biased because Canada is where my dream um, came true or coming true
Yeah.
because everything when you're in Canada it's at your grasp. You can have it. You can have it. So going back to your question, I am not the person to encourage and not to encourage to pursue their dream. It's all basically with you. If you see Canada as the land of opportunity, by all means you're correct. But at the end of the day, based on my experience, you still have that struggle. You still have that hardship. And if you overcome that hardship every day, every year, you're gonna make your dreams.
Yeah.
That's my advice.
Yeah. I agree. I agree too. It's all about. I think it's all about the mindset. It's all about the mindset.
Exactly. Yeah.
Some people come to Canada after a couple years. They feel it's not really the right place for them. They decide to leave. For
Mhm.
me, I'm gonna be sincere with you. Like I love this country. Like this country has offered me a lot in terms of like, trying to be the best I can, make out of myself. So yeah, it's
Sure.
I
I
feel it's
totally
a
agree
good
with that.
opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. My final
This
question.
has been interesting, man.
I
Very
know because
interesting. I love answering all your great questions.
I want to make it as easy as it can come, right? So what would be the three things you would recommend for someone who decides to come to Canada to do first, so that it will be it will be easier for the person to settle in once they're in here?
Okay, good question. Good question. I love this. I love this. Number one,
Yeah,
um, connection, social media.
yeah,
Right now, like it's at your hands. Everything,
yeah,
social media. Connect to people who are in Canada. You know who are in Canada.
yeah,
If you're in Facebook and then you're in other country like Philippines or Nigeria,
yeah,
look up the people who are in Canada in your friends list. Talk to them. Ask them advice because different people have different situations. So
yeah,
that's how you would gain more knowledge coming in here,
yeah.
right? Connections. And
Connection.
then when you come here, at least you build that relationship.
Yeah,
They know where you are, and at least you can relate to each other, talk about your problems, and at least you would have that safeguarded advice that you're in Canada and you have the knowledge that they gave you. Now, if you want more, you know who to ask.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Second thing is basically be prepared.
Yep.
Be prepared.
Yep.
What I meant by be prepared is that research as much as you can. Um, your personality, because there's something that if they wanted to immigrate to Canada, there's something in them that pushed them. Take that mindset, take that flame, fan it as much as you can when you're in Canada. Because that passion, that dream, that vision, that will help you through the hardship.
Yes.
That helped me through the hardship.
Yeah.
And number three, just trust and believe that you're gonna make it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
it's all about the mindset.
If you believe that you're gonna make it, everything would follow.
Yeah.
If you trust that there's a higher being, if you trust yourself, and because I'm a faithful guy, I believe in the higher being. I trust that it's gonna make it. Don't get me wrong; it's sometimes, most of the time, hard, but I always hang on to that belief. Family is important too. You believe in your family believes in you.
Yeah.
Just keep on doing it. Keep on believing, keep on trusting that you're gonna make it. There's the light at the end of the tunnel, I promise you.
Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on, Mr. Arvin. And I always know that talking to you is always going to be inspiring, right? So that is why I'm excited to also request that if in the near future I call upon you again with any questions, or because for me, Darlington Academy, it's all about giving out information. That is the whole concept of this idea, like learning from people. For me, I'm always that guy who wants to get information. So I'm like, how the best way to do it is like approach people, life experience is great. So I do appreciate. So for all the viewers out there, please remember to subscribe and hit the notification button for other further videos I'll be making in the future. And finally, I would say, Arvin, thank you. I appreciate any last word for the viewers that would motivate anyone watching.
First of all, I want to thank you, man. You're doing great things, and for all the people who's listening to this, take it from me. Like, hardship is nothing when you really fuel your passion. So thank you so much, Darlington. Thank you so much for the opportunity. It's been an honor. And yeah, reach out to Darlington. He's amazing guy, amazing guy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
man. Appreciate it.
Looking forward for more, man. Looking forward for more.
All right. Take care now. Bye.
Thank you.